Hey everybody, it's Justice for Comics. It is what is it? Is it Friday night? No, Saturday. It's Saturday evening. Uh I meant to do this video on Friday and I just got caught up with too many other things to do. So I figured I'll just do a live stream. Maybe there'll be some people that show up in the chat. And I don't know. We're going to do some free flowing live streaming tonight. I might be on here for an hour or so at least. My wife has a couple friends over, so there's a little too much estrogen downstairs. So I've escaped to the confines of my bedroom. Um, I've got a couple boxes of comics right here. So yeah, I might pull out some books, talk about some stuff. I did pick up a couple comic books. I picked up a set of comic books today from my good friend Aaron Bartling. So I'm going to promote one of his. I think it's his first cover of 2021. So I'm going to go over that and highlight that. Go to the website that's selling it. It is a limited, exclusive new comic book, independent comic book that's coming out. Looks interesting. We'll see. I got to admit, though, initially I looked. Infamous had sent me a link to another exclusive, or I think it was the 1-in-10 ratio, and I wasn't really interested. And then I saw Aaron Bartling's artwork on it. And I was like, I'm interested in that. So I don't know. We'll take a look at it, see what you guys think. Maybe you'll also find it to be interesting. I am upstairs, so hopefully no buffering issues. I'm pretty close to the Wi-Fi router. So this won't be my normal shit show that I usually have when I'm downstairs and outside. And I do need to get one of those Wi-Fi boosters. That might help. So I am currently looking at getting that maybe near the end of this month. So hopefully you guys are hearing me okay. I think last live stream I was doing, my mic wasn't turned on; it was muted. I was talking for like 5 minutes, or I don't know, 8 minutes, something like that. It was kind of embarrassing. So I guess you guys would let me know if the audio is obviously not very good. Sounds like it's working okay right now. So we got a couple people in the house. We got Luis Ramirez 504. We got Cameron D, Malcolm Giles. We got Bidden Compton. We got Nuke San Francisco. Nuke San Francisco. I like that. Or at least kick all the politicians out. That would be a good start. We got Danny Williams. Good to see you, my friend. All right. So we got a few people watching the live stream. That's good. I might pull up a chair. I'm kind of not in the best, most comfortable position here at the moment, but yeah, I might make myself more comfortable here in a little bit. I did grab a drink for myself. No smoking, of course. I'm indoors, but I do have a nice little smoked maple bourbon, Knob Creek. Cheers. And I did chat a little bit with my good friend Aaron Bartling today. I am going to have him up. I'm going to have him come on my live stream either in the next week or so. Whenever it's good for his schedule. He did promise to come on the show. He's been on before. We'll talk about his new book that he's doing the cover for, and what projects he's got coming up. He's got a lot of covers coming up this year. I have a good feeling he's not going to have to work at his part-time job anymore. he's got enough work coming in. He can definitely be full-time now, which is awesome. I love that I met him way before he became a lot more well-known. I think he's still becoming a lot more well-known. So we're going to see his star rise even further. So I'm very, very happy for him. We also got Gold Gauntlet Comics in the house. We got BTC Moon Guy. We got Richie in the house. Awesome. Yeah, we got a good group here. All right. Let's take a dive into the Hot 10 list this week from CBSI. This list comes out every Friday. So let me get rid of the pop-ups if I can. Yeah, I'm not interested in this ad. Get out of here, Google. We're not interested in what you have to sell, you tech oligarch. All right, let's start with the notable mentions. I did find this interesting. Batman #1 just sold. I think it was Heritage Auctions just had a 9.4 sale go through, $2.2 million. I think that was the highest bid. Man, that's unbelievable. It's the finest copy available. It is the highest grade in the CGC census. $2.2 million. It's not the first appearance of Batman, of course. It is his first ongoing title. Uh, there might be. Is there another first appearance though in Batman #1? I don't think the Joker's in that. I can't remember if there's any notable first appearance in that first issue. I know it's not Batman and Robin's first appearance, but um, if anybody knows off the top of their head, or if anybody wants to Google that and mention that in the chat, that'd be awesome. But I don't know if there's anything else significant in Batman #1 other than it's an old issue, super collectible. It's awesome. I love the yellow cover, red and yellow cover. It's definitely a beaut. Writing by Bill Finger, artistry by Bob Kane and Jerry Robinson. And it's nice to know. It's nice that we're living in an era now where Bill Finger gets acknowledgement for creating Batman. Bob Kane took the credit for many, many decades until his death. And I think right before his death, he kind of admitted I think he started to feel pretty guilty that Bill Finger didn't get quite the acknowledgement that he should have. But a lot of the early designs of Batman were absolutely fleshed out by Bill Finger, not Bob Kane. So I would say Bill Finger was probably as much the creator of Batman as Bob Kane was, maybe more so. A lot of people argue more so. And there is a really cool documentary on that whole process and that whole story. That's really cool. It's on Netflix, or it used to be on Netflix. I think it's still on Netflix. If not, I'm sure it'll be on Amazon Prime. But it's, I think, well, I know what's his name is in it a bunch. I think he was instrumental. Kevin, damn, what am I thinking of? You know who I'm thinking of, the creator of Silent Bob. Damn, I can't remember. Kevin, damn. I keep thinking Kevin James. No, that's the comedian. Damn. He just had a heart attack too. Kevin Smith. Damn, my brain is. I need to drink more bourbon. As I drink alcohol, I get sharper. So that tells me I need to take a drink. Yeah, Kevin Smith's in that documentary, and it's kind of nice. You get to see his Bill Finger's. I think it's Bill Finger's granddaughter gets some acknowledgement, and it's really nice that the family finally gets some justice for the contribution of Bill Finger towards Batman. So that is a really cool, beautiful copy. $2.2 million. I mean, if I was worth $100 million, which I'm not, unfortunately, but if I was a 100 millionaire, or if I had $10 million, I don't know. If I was worth $10 million, I don't think I could spend $2.2 million on a comic book. Yeah, that'd be kind of tough to justify. But if I was worth $100 million, maybe even $50 million, I would absolutely plop down $2.2 million on that comic book. Hell, you could probably make money every year just charging people to see it in person. I don't know. It's a piece of history. It's pretty awesome, and it's the highest grade known to mankind at this point. So I think it's worth 2.2 million. I don't know. It's just, I'm going to replace these $100 bills for that. Yeah, I'll do that all day long. I think that's an awesome piece of history right there. The next notable mention is Spawn number 9 newsstand. I do have a Spawn number 9. I don't think I have a newsstand copy though. So obviously in the 90s, what did Spawn come out? Late mid early 90s. That was probably 1992 or 1993. Um, Majority of comic books were sold in comic book stores, but there were newsstands back then. I think the last newsstand comic book I purchased, I've said this a couple times before. I think my last newsstand purchase was Batman number 24. That was the marriage proposal of Batman to Catwoman. That was the Tom King run. What was that? Back in, that had to be 2016, 17, maybe 2016. I think it was 2016. It was a few years back. That was the last time I remember buying a newsstand. I was running around to Barnes and Noble stores, and that was and I think a couple months after that they stopped selling comic books because I remember going in there looking for some, and the manager of the Barnes and Noble that I went into told me, "Oh yeah, we don't sell them anymore." So um, that was it. I don't know where else you could get newsstand comic books anymore. I mean, I don't think they're produced. I mean, if I'm wrong, let me know. But I don't think newsstand comic books are produced anymore. They're barely producing direct editions anymore, right? I mean, everyone's cutting back. Not Justice League. DC is cutting back their number of titles. Right in March, it's dropping to 34. We'll have April's orders coming in the next couple weeks, so that'll be interesting to see if DC cuts it even further from 34 titles. Maybe they'll cut it down into the 20s. I have a feeling it's going to eventually go to about 20 to 25 titles. That's my guess. We'll see. But yeah, newsstand. That's tough. I mean, I think the only notable newsstand comic book I have is I have a newsstand copy of ASM 300 that I'm proud to own. I know that's not quite as easy to find as the direct edition. But yeah, Spawn. I don't think I have any Spawn comic books that are newsstand. I think most of them I have are direct. All right. Cameron D says, "Damn, 2.2 million. Yep, that's a lot of money." Hulu. Yeah, it might have been on Hulu. I think yeah, it must have been Hulu. Maybe it was Hulu. You're right. It was one of those streaming providers. Yeah, so Hulu is where you want to check it out. I think if you just type in Bill Finger or Batman, it comes up. But they interview Kevin Smith, Neil Adams. I mean, they do a really good job of going into the history of Batman and Bill Finger's connection. So it's pretty cool. If you're a big Batman fan, it's definitely one of those must-watch documentaries, I think. We got GT Key Comic. Good to see you as well. Yeah, the visit the Justice Comic Museum. Yeah, there you go. Maybe I could do that in my old age. I already am old, but in my older age, maybe I think I'm up to like 9,000 comic books now. So I think once I get to like 20,000, I don't know. I'm gonna have to get a bigger house or start renting storage units. Nuke says, "Yeah, my Barnes Noble stopped selling comic books." Also, yeah, I think that was 3 or 4 years ago. To my recollection, is when they stopped selling comic books at the newsstands, or I think Barnes Noble was the last newsstand I remember. All right, let me pull up my chair because my knee's killing me right now. Hold on one second, guys. Let me see if I can get a chair up here. 1 second. Much better. So, yeah, I was on my knees, kind of kneeling down, and it wasn't too comfortable. So, I have a bad bum knee. Got to protect my knee there a little bit. All right, so let's move on to number 10 on the list. Those were the notable mentions, honorable mentions rather. Number 10 is Aquaman number 57. This book is pretty recent. I don't know if that's is that the last issue of Aquaman? I know Aquaman's being canceled. I think it is canceled now. Let me look real quick. Aquaman. Oh, this came out earlier last year, right? Number 57. Yeah. Yeah, that came out in February of last year. Okay. So what's significant about it? It doubled in price from a $15 to $20 book to $30. It's the first appearance of Andy Curry. Andy Curry, I guess, is that's Aquaman's young lad, his boy. So the son of Aquaman. Oh, it says because of her being in future state. All right, so it's his daughter. I don't know. Her name is Andy. Okay, I haven't read Aquaman in a couple years. I think the last time I read it was when Jeff Johns was the writer. So man, that's at least 2 years ago. And I think Middleton was. I collected a lot of the Middleton covers of Aquaman, and I remember it being pretty good with Jeff Johns writing. Um, I don't think I'm not a big fan of Kelly Sue DeConnick. I know she's one of those SJWs, but I'm not a big fan of her writing, so that's probably why I dropped it. So I haven't collected Aquaman. I mean, I think the last time I bought an Aquaman was in the 20s and 30s from that run. So yeah, that was a while ago. But that one, if you have it or if you see it in a back issue bin, maybe pick it up. $30. That's not bad, especially if you can find it for cover price or in the dollar bins. That would be a nice little flip. Number 9 is Future State Teen Titans #1. I was fortunate enough to pick up a copy of this at my local comic book shop. They had it. They had a couple copies. I called basically and just had her pull it aside because I had a feeling I couldn't get there right when the shop opened, and I had a feeling that book was going to be gone. Sure enough, the A covers were gone. I think there might have been one or two B covers left, but it is the first appearance of, or it's first. I think it's the first full appearance of Red X. So I don't know where the first cameo appearance is, but yeah, I mean, I feel the same way. It does get a little tiresome debating between cameo and first full. It's just kind of like, okay. I just wish the comic book writers would stop fucking with the comic book fans, right? Because that's really what that is. It's a way to try to increase sales of the next book. Hey, let's just put a little panel of that character so that it makes the reader buy the next copy or this other issue that we want to promote. So it's kind of dicking around the comic book reader, is what I view it as. But it's going for $15. Yeah, that's cool. I bought it for cover price. I'm happy that I did. Red X, he is a villain. I guess I think he was in the Teen Titans series, like maybe the cartoon. I think he showed up previously in the cartoon series. I'm not. I vaguely remember that. I don't know. So I think he's been around before, but maybe this is his first appearance in the normal DC universe. I think maybe that's what it is. Number 8 is Ha Ha #1. This is the same writer that writes Ice Cream Man. Artist is Vanessa Del Rey. Regular cover is between $10 to $15. I did not pick up this. I should have grabbed a copy off of Midtown. I like the B cover a lot better though, so I did grab a B cover copy off of Midtown. They did have one left at the comic book shop, but it had a big old spine tick on it, so I was like, I passed on it. There are some store variants out there. I know there's a Trump cover that's pretty funny. That's going first. I think it's going for a couple $100 now on eBay. I don't know. I briefly looked at it. It's a pretty funny cover, but it's going for some big money. I think one of the best covers is the John Gallagher cover. I did grab a set of that. In fact, I hadn't received it yet. I just emailed the store the other day that was selling it, and the guy's like, "Oh, well, I had a PayPal confirmation, everything, but I never got an email confirming my order. I just screenshotted and kept my PayPal authorization. So supposedly there was an email back giving me shipping and tracking information. So hopefully I'm going to get it. But yeah, Wanted Comics is the store that was selling it, and they don't have their shit together. So the store owner of Wanted Comics, if you watch my videos, um, you know who you are. you need you need to spend money on your website. Your website sucks. There were a lot of problems trying to buy that book. Their website was going down. A lot of people were pissed off. Um, thank God I was in communication with the owner through Instagram, and he was nice enough to respond to my messages, but he definitely needs to update his website, especially if you're going to be an online store. Your website has to work really well, and if it doesn't, you're going to have major problems. Not only going to have pissed off customers, but the word of mouth on that is going to be terrible. So hopefully he's got it fixed. I'm going to be very reluctant though to buy another exclusive cover through his website because it was a nightmare to try to buy that. But I did get a set, and supposedly it's on its way. Um, but again, if I didn't say anything a couple days ago and email the store and message the owner, I probably would have never gotten it. So, uh, yeah, it's a little infuriating. What are you going to do? All right, number 7 on the list is Vision number 1. I do have that book. I've got the whole series. I think I've got 1 through whatever, 1 through 12. I think it was a 12-issue miniseries. I think it was 12 issues. It was good. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of Tom King. I think Tom King has written a couple good series. Mr. Miracle was okay. I think Vision was really good. Sheriff of Babylon was okay. He's had some successful projects, but he fucked up Batman so badly that I noticed a lot of people aren't buying Tom King comic books anymore. So, I mean, I talked to a lot of people in the industry. I talked to shop owners, and they tell me, "Oh yeah, if it's Tom King writing it, I order low. I don't order a lot of it." So that's the reality. Um, Tom King is a massive SJW weirdo, and he fucked up way too much with Batman, and there's a lot of people that really hate Tom King now. So, I mean, I don't like him either, and I'm considering selling most of my Tom King comic books. Although the Batman I probably won't sell because I've been collecting Batman. I have every single Batman comic book since the Hush storyline, which came out. I mean, that was a long time ago. What was that, 1990 something? So I think I have 3 full long boxes of just Batman comic books. So I'll probably keep the Tom King run just because I am a completionist collector of Batman. But and 9.8 just jumped on this book from $225 to around 240 to 300. It looks like. I have not watched the first 2 episodes of WandaVision. I'm going to try to do that maybe tomorrow. It looks interesting. I kind of like how they're blending. I saw the commercials for it. They're kind of blending like stuff from the past, like it's like a black and white to today. I mean, it sounds like an interesting concept. We'll see if it's any good. Um, I guess the speculation is that Vision could show up, the daughter of. I don't think it's possible though, right? Because in this storyline, Vision is married to another synthetic or he creates. I don't know. He creates another. He creates his wife and then creates his own children. I don't know what. Something like that. He creates artificial constructs. So in this story, he's not married to the Scarlet Witch. So I don't see how Viv Vision would show up in the series. I doubt that would happen. So I don't, this book going up in value right now is probably very, very temporary. So I would be very cautious. I mean, I will say that it's a good series. It was a good read. I remember enjoying it. So I will give Tom King props on that series. I thought it was decent. All right, number 6 is Port of Earth number 1. After being optioned almost 2 years ago, I do remember when that got optioned because I think I have the first 2 or 3 issues of that book. Sales on this book increased to about $20. There's no justifiable reason right now why it jumped up in price. There still hasn't really been any news from Amazon on when this is coming out. So maybe it's coming out soon. I don't know. Maybe there's something coming. But that might be one to look for. Port of Earth. That is an Image comic book. I think Top Cow is the publisher through Image. And you might find that in the back issue bin. I don't think it had a big print run. I did collect the first 2 or 3 issues. I think that first issue had a couple different covers. I don't have that cover. I think I've got the B cover on that one. Number 5 is Hot Valley Days and Cocaine Nights, number 2. I like the title. Hot Valley Days and Cocaine Nights. Sounds interesting. Yeah, this has a risque cover. I did see the cover on it. Yeah, it's pretty. There's a gentleman snorting a white substance off of a female woman's breasts. That's basically what the image is. I think one of my followers on Instagram, he sent me a picture. I think he bought like 6 or 7 copies of this book. I think it's going for pretty good money on eBay right now. He told me he's selling all of them. So anyone that was able to pick that up at a LCS, congratulations. I know the print run on that's probably pretty low, but it looks like it's, this is it's going for more than $50. I think he told me it's going for well over 100 right now. So that's a good flip. If you find it cheap, I would flip it real quick. Number 4 is Serial number 1. I almost bought this. I saw that. And, I don't know. I didn't end up buying it, but it's selling around $10 to $15 now. It's a pretty low print run. Maybe it's good. Terry Moore. I don't know. I was thinking Moore. I was like, where have I heard that name? I was thinking Tony Moore. And then I think I passed on it because I was like, Terry Moore. I don't know anybody named Terry Moore. If it was Tony Moore, I might have bought it. Number 3 is King in Black, Gwenom versus Carnage number 1, the In Hook Lee 1 in 25 variant. This variant was really hot. I remember Midtown had it for $100. So even Midtown was asking 4 times ratio for it, which is insane. This was one that you would have had to have pre-ordered several weeks ago. I think there were the pre-orders on it was still pretty high, $50 to $60 on this book. So this was a hard book to find even before it came out. So if you were able to grab one, if you were able to get one for ratio, congratulations. That would have been awesome. $25. That's selling. I think right now it's going for like 175 to 200 for that book. So if you got one for $25, this would be a good time to sell it if you're not in love with it long term. Number 2 is Iron Man number 5, the Frank Cho 1 in 25 variant, up to 100 to 125 this week. I don't know why. Why is it hot? Frank Cho is not exactly a super hot artist in my opinion. I don't know. I mean, the cover's okay. It's sort of interesting. He drew a nice ass on whoever that is. Who is that supposed to be? Is that supposed to be Pepper Potts? I don't know. Didn't Pepper Potts have red hair? I know Gwyneth Paltrow played Pepper Potts, but I don't think Pepper Potts had blonde hair. I think she had red hair, didn't she? I don't know. I don't know much about this book, but I definitely would not spend that kind of money on it. But maybe you can find that in a back issue bin. That would be a good one to hunt for. Manny's going to look for it this weekend, probably. Number one is Star Wars Tales from the Clone Wars Season 1. Um, yeah, everything Star Wars is going nuts. Now, I've gotten into some arguments with people on Instagram. I had one guy that basically argued with me that Mandalorian wasn't responsible for the increase in Star. Are you kidding me? It's the only reason Star Wars comic books are doing well is because of Mandalorian. That's it. Star Wars comic books were dead in the water before Mandalorian came out. Trust me, I know this for a fact because I own a lot of Star Wars comic books and none of them would sell. I had extra copies of books I was trying to sell. None of them would sell. I would go to comic book shops, and if I flipped through dollar bins, Star Wars books were in there all the time. So no one give me any bullshit about the fact that Star Wars was dead before Mandalorian, because you're full of shit. If you believe that, you're out of your fucking mind. Star Wars was a dead property until Mandalorian. It was dead. The last three movies were that terrible. Um, that's just the way it is. You don't want to hear it. That's fine. don't You can ignore it all you want, but that is the fact. Those are the facts. That's the way it was. Um, the only reason all these Star Wars books are doing well is because of Mandalorian. Basically, Disney should be writing big fucking checks to Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni right now. I'm sure they are, because they have literally breathed new life into the series. So hopefully Disney, listen, there's one thing I'll tell you. This is one thing that you can absolutely count on in life. The bigger the corporate entity is, the dumber they are. Okay, the bigger, the dumber. That's just the way it is. I used to work for huge banks, and the smaller banks were much better to work for than the bigger banks. When I went to go work for these larger banks, they were dumb as fucking doornails. They were so stupid. And again, it proves my point. The bigger a company is, uh, amazingly, it's amazing how dumb their decisions are. That's just the way it is. Doesn't matter if it's banking, entertainment, comic books. It doesn't matter. It's sort of one of those rules in life that if you get a big corporation running something, they will fucking run it into the ground. So right now, Star Wars has new life breathed into it. Hopefully somebody at the top of Disney has the brains to realize, shit, whatever made Mandalorian successful, let's just keep duplicating that. Which, to do that, means you need to get rid of Kathleen Kennedy. Anybody that was involved in the last three Star Wars movies, they should be fired, walked off the lot, and never allowed back in any of the Disney properties ever again. That's what they need to do. J.J. Abrams, bye-bye. If I were the head of Disney, I wouldn't let him run a lemonade stand on my property, let alone direct a fucking movie. Kathleen Kennedy, I would fire her ass, and I'd probably sue her for negligence and just fucking up Star Wars. I'd find a way to sue her. I'd get some attorney to do it. Find some attorney to sue her. But that's what Disney needs to do. I just don't have any confidence that they're going to do that. And how do I know that? Because High Republic just came out, and it's full of SJW tropes. It looks terrible. The sales, they're promoting it that, oh, it's selling so well. We sold 200,000 copies. First of all, a Star Wars comic book should sell 1 million copies. Go back to before the 3 Star Wars movies were made, when Dark Horse had the Star Wars property. Go back and see what the sales were on the first issue of Star Wars when it was with Dark Horse. Dark Horse is a small company, right? It's not anywhere near the level of a Marvel. It sold way more than 200,000 copies. Even the first issue of Star Wars when they rebooted it, right? When Marvel took over the property, what the sales were almost a million. I think it was over a million copies the first issue. Now, of course, they printed the shit out of it. That doesn't mean a million people bought those comic books, but it was way more than what's being sold with High Republic. So this hype on High Republic right now, trust me, it's gonna die. Uh, the strong numbers that that first issue is selling for is absolutely going to go lower. So if you have invested a lot of money in Star Wars uh, I would quickly sell any extra copies. I mean, if you want to keep like I'm going to keep the Yasmin Putri cover, the Yoda cover. I like that. I pre-ordered like the A, B, and C cover, whatever. I didn't do any of the ratios. I ordered the A, B, and C cover. I'm going to keep the Putri cover, and the other two I'm going to sell. I'm going to put them on eBay and get rid of them. And I won't buy any more issues. So I'm not going to buy issue number 2. I'm not going to buy issue number 3. I'm just not, because I know the story is shit. It's written by SJW, so I already know it's going to be terrible. So if you guys want to collect it, that's up to you. But my advice is keep what you want to keep in your collection long term. But if I were you, any extra copies, I would unload them now, sell them now, because I don't think it's going to get any better. Right now, there's hype on it. That hype will die down because everyone starts reading it will realize, oh, this story isn't very good. All right, we got Discovery Bay in the house. What's going on, my friend? GTK Comics says Tom King is industry's whipping boy. Well, I mean, I'm not going to tell you everything Tom King has done is absolute shit. I mean, there's some stuff that he's done that I think has been pretty good. But yeah, let's face it, he really fucked up Batman, I think. Now, near the end of his Batman run, it started to get actually pretty good. But yeah, he tried to change who Batman is too much, and he paid the price. You don't fuck with the holy grail of comic books. And that's no one's going to let him off the hook easy on that. So Tom King is probably going to be paying the price for that for quite some time. I don't know. Maybe his career will survive it. Who knows? We'll see. All right. Let me jump over to. I'm going to promote my good friend Aaron Bartling. I could go to his Instagram page, but I'll just go to the website so you guys know about it. All right, here's the website, outofthevault.com. And you can see right on their front page is the Radiant Black #1 Aaron Bartling exclusive. I've never heard of Out of the Vault. I'm not familiar with them, but they do have store exclusives apparently. Looks like they've done a Carla Cohen exclusive. They did a Something is Killing the Children. That one's pretty good. I like that one. $15. I like that cover. Never seen that cover before. That's interesting. Number 12. That's been a hot book. There's the Dynamite 2 Carla Cohen. God, Carla Cohen's she's a freaking hot chick. I love hot artists that are also drawing hot chicks. They're basically drawing themselves over and over again. Yeah, so they've their website has some exclusives, a couple of them. Nothing major. But they got Aaron Bartling, and man, this is a hot looking comic book. I love the look of it. So there is a trade dress, which is limited to only 700 copies. The trade dress is $15. And you can also buy looks like you can buy the Virgin set for $45. Now the Virgin cover is limited to 350 copies. So I like it. I mean, so the story on this is for fans of Invincible and Mighty Morphin Power Rangers comes a brand new ongoing series from acclaimed writer Kyle Higgins. He wrote Ultraman and Cowl, COWL, and artist Marcelo Costa that reinvents superheroes for a new generation. Nathan Burnett has just turned 30 and things aren't great. He's working and failing at 2 jobs. His credit card debt is piling up, and his only move is moving back home with his parents. But when Nathan discovers and unlocks the ethereal cosmic radiant, He's given the power to radically change his fortunes. There's just one problem. The powers don't belong to him, and the cosmic beings who created them want them back by any means necessary. All right. So the premise sounds interesting. This is an Image comic book. This is produced by Image. So you've got a pretty major independent publisher that's backing it. And you've also got an experienced writer. I don't know much about the artist Marcelo Costa, but I do know that this cover by Aaron Bartling is awesome. Um, so I bought a trade dress and virgin set, $45. I think that's a nice. It's kind of common. It's $40 to $50 is typical for a for a set, but the print run on this is a lot lower. So if you're buying a Marvel or DC exclusive, the print runs are going to be way higher. So that's one thing I like about it is the print run's pretty low. And remember, Aaron Bartling, his Mutant Ninja Turtle Last Ronin book is easily the most expensive book out there. There was only 300 copies of that produced, and that book sells well over $1,000 in raw condition at this point. Or maybe that's graded, maybe 1,000 graded. Yeah, but it's one of the highest selling books for that Last Ronin. So I don't know. What do you guys think? I like the cover. I mean, I love the background. I like that he's got the city in the background. It's a nice visual concept. I think Aaron did a nice job on it. So I picked up a set. So if you're interested, go to the website. I'll post that after I finish this video. I'll post it in the description. But outofthevault.com is the website, and it's right on the front page of the website. So you won't have any problem finding it. It's still available, and the Virgin set is still available. That's probably going to sell out at some point. Myself and maybe a couple of the YouTubers mentioning this book will probably sell it out pretty quickly. So if you're interested, you may want to grab a set pretty soon. I do think it will sell out in the next few days. That's my guess on that. Also, there's another book that I picked up. I posted it on my Instagram page. I'll look it up on eBay. This is coming out in March. It's Marvel's number 6. I think it's the 1 in 25 ratio. Yeah. And you can see it's not cheap. Here's somebody asking $95 for it, but man, look at that cover. Holy crap, it's good. Lee Bermejo. Bermejo. Who? It's Lee Bermejo. I mean, come on, look at that freaking cover. This is one of my favorite covers for 2021. I mean, I know I just talked about Aaron Bartling's. I love that cover as well, but this cover's sick. God, this cover's so good. I mean, look at that. It looks like the metal on him like you could just stick your finger in there and get some Silver Surfer metal on your finger. It looks so alive. I don't know. I love this cover. When I saw that cover, I was like, oh, I got to buy that. It's a Virgin. It's going to look just like that. That's what it'll look like. So I picked up a copy for about $45 plus shipping. I don't think you can find it that cheap now. There's only 3 copies on eBay right now, and the cheapest is $90 plus shipping, about $95. Yeah, 95 is the cheapest. There's 2 listings at $95 and 1 listing at $100. So that's it. Only 3 listings on eBay. If you go to Google it, like if you're trying to find stores that are selling it on a pre-order, I don't think there's anyone left that's selling it on pre-order. Let's see. Yeah, the Sanctum Santorium must have sold out of it. They're not showing it available anymore. Westfield, that's who I bought it from. Was Westfield? Let me see. See if it comes up. Yeah, it's not coming up. That's not a good sign. It's probably not available anymore. Yeah. So I bought it. I think I bought it. I probably bought one of the last copies. I'm pretty sure. I type in 1 in 25. Does it come up? Yeah, it's not coming up. So that means it's sold out. Westfield doesn't have it available anymore. I couldn't find any online stores that had it available. So it's yeah, Impulse Creations. Sometimes yeah, see they had it for man, they had it for freaking 25 bucks. Ah, that was a great deal. I got to remember to go on their sites early for shit. At 25 bucks, that was a fantastic deal. I paid twice that. And I still feel like I got a great deal on it. Yeah, I mean, if you go on these different websites, I mean, they had it here on this Joker's Child. I got to remember this website too. Joker's Child had it for $17. Holy crap. They're not showing the correct image, but it says the 1 in 25. Yeah, I couldn't find any online stores that had it. I mean, Westfield was the only one that I saw that had it. I think everyone else had either sold out or they were asking crazy money. I think Golden Apple might have still been available, but they were asking like $100. Yeah, they're asking for what you can buy it off eBay for. So yeah, I mean, I think that's going to be a hot book. I mean, I'm going to try to grab one off Midtown as well. I know Midtown gives you a couple seconds to be able to buy it. So if it shows up on Midtown for, so I my guess is it'll be on Midtown for like $50, 50 or $54, something like that. It won't be anywhere near ratio because they're gonna know this is a hot book. So my guess is the week the week before it hits the stores, Midtown will have it for like my guess is about $50 to $55. So they'll have it about twice ratio, and I'm going to try to buy a second copy if I can because I love that cover. That's so far for 2021. That's probably my favorite cover. Is the Lee Bermejo. Uh, yeah, I mean I think that's one of the hottest covers of the year, my friends. I don't know, I love it. It's fire, literally. What do you guys think? Do you think I'm crazy? You think what the hell are you talking about? Why do you think that book is so good? The other one that's been hot is I was able to pick up a set of this the other day. Venom number 33. This is a King in Black tie-in. They've got these Gleason exclusive covers. I mean, there's the Virgin. I mean, that's pretty sweet. Look at that cover. It's crazy. So the sets were the trade dress was limited, I think, to 2,500 copies, and the Virgin was limited to 1,500. And I was able to pick up um, two sets of the trade dress and Virgin for $75 per set. So I spent $150 plus shipping. I think it's like it was like $170 probably with shipping and everything, taxes and all that. Um, and I think those sets easily sell for about 250 a set right now. So they've gone up pretty nicely in price, more than double what I've paid. Um, yeah, so my plan was a lot of these if I have a feeling something's going to be hot. So I got this tip from my good friend Infamous. He's not on the chat tonight, but Chasing Comics is his Instagram account, and he messaged me saying, "Hey, he follows it pretty closely. He follows exclusives a lot more closely than I do." And he said, "Yeah, I think Gleason's going to have something come out on his website sometime today because he had mentioned it, and I guess on his Instagram page." So that's a good clue that if there's an artist that you really are like, or if there's an artist that has been really hot lately. 'Cause right now, I don't think any artist is hotter than Gleason. These black and white negative covers that he's doing are just fantastic. Um, so he's probably one of the hottest cover artists at the moment right now is Gleason. So when you know that there's a really hot artist, it's a good idea to follow them on Instagram and see what they're posting. They have a Twitter account, maybe follow them on Twitter, that kind of thing. Because he had posted that he was coming out with an exclusive off of his website, and it was, I think, like Friday at 4 o'clock. And that was the set. It sold out in like 2 or 3 minutes. I was fortunate enough to grab a couple sets, and man, I love that cover. It's crazy. The other one that I really like too. Make sure I blow that up a little bit so you guys can see. I mean, that's just a sick cover. The other one that I thought was really nice was the Carnage. Uh, the Carnage. I'm just gonna type Carnage #1 Gleason. Yeah, here it is. Carnage Black, White, and Blood, I guess is the name of it. Yeah. So this is a book that you can still pre-order. I think FOC drops on Monday on this book. So, if you go on eBay, don't go pay $25. That's nuts. There's a listing here. They've sold 60 copies at $5 a piece. So this is obviously a store that's ordering heavily. So this book is going to be they're going to print the living shit out of it. There's no doubt about it. So this comic book, I don't think is going to be worth a ton of money. It is a cool cover, but a lot of people know about it. A lot of websites were promoting it. Most of the online stores were offering pre-orders on this. So I pre-ordered it for like $3. I got a couple copies pre-ordered. Just don't go pay $20 for it. It's crazy to do that. If you can't find a store that will sell it to you at cover price or lower, then go on eBay and buy it for like $7-8. That's not too bad. But I got a couple copies of this book coming. I mean, that one's just awesome. I think Carnage cover is freaking amazing. God, look at that. It's crazy. I mean, I think I could draw. I mean, I don't know. I think I could draw that. I'm assuming he did that digitally, right? Looks like it's a digital rendering. It's pretty cool, though. I mean, it's definitely cool. And what I'm waiting for is to see if Gleason comes out with a version of this, which I'm sure he will. I'm pretty sure there'll be. What would be really cool if it's a white background with the black. Oh, that would be sweet. I mean, I like red covers too, but I won't be disappointed if he has a version of this in red. That'd be awesome. But if he has a version of this in white, oh man, that would be freaking awesome. So I like that book a lot. I would highly recommend pre-ordering that if you can. What else do we want to talk about? I think there's a few things I could probably show you. I'm trying to think. Oh, there was a second print of King in Black that's coming out. King in Black #1. Second print looked pretty nice. I grabbed one. I put one on my pull list. It's. I'm sure people are going to go after it. I mean, it's. I don't think it'll be that hard to find, maybe, but it's a pretty cool cover. Null on the cover there. It's just a kind of a cool looking cover. I like it. So the second print, be aware of that one. This was a hot book. This sold out. This is coming out this coming Wednesday. I may try to grab. I'm going to see if my local comic book shop will have a copy of this coming in. I just don't know. The problem is some of the shops I deal with, they don't really do second printings that much. I rarely find them having second prints for sale. But I'll try. I'm going to make a phone call and see if they're getting us some in. If they are, I'll try to grab one. But um, I don't know. Is this some new character, Mr. E? I don't know who this is, but that might be his first cover appearance. I guess that's why this book's doing well. It's a $14 book now on eBay. I'm not too sure why this book's hot, but it did sell out on Midtown pretty quickly, and some people are speculating on it. Um, I don't know, but yeah, that's kind of what's going on. Oh, as you guys know, I've talked about this book a few times. The Gamora #2. This is a really good price. If you don't own this book and and if you always wanted it, I think this might be a good purchase. Um, Gamora #2, the Matina variant. This is a book that gets cover swiped a lot. I mean, they cover swiped it for the Turtle Last Ronin book. Somebody cover swiped this. This is a very, very kind of a famous cover at this point. It's been out for several years. I have a copy. In fact, right here, let me grab it. Right behind me. Ugh. I've got a nice little. I have a 9.8 graded copy of that book. I bought this for I think around 190, just under $200, $200 for the book, which was a great price because I've literally seen this book sell around 500 to 700 range. I think the highest sales around $700 to $800. Um, and to get it for under 200 was an amazing deal. But the one on eBay right now asking 105, it looks really good. This one right here, whoever the seller is, it looks like a nice copy. I mean, there's really, really detailed photos. I don't see any spine ticks. I mean, it looks like a 9.8 to me. There might be one spine tick right there. So on the third image, it looks like a spine tick there. So it doesn't. But on the fourth image, I don't know. Maybe an inch, maybe an inch above the what is it? That little box there. There might be a spine tick. It's hard to tell from the pictures. So if I would say if you're really interested in this book, maybe ask, "Hey, I need a clearer picture of that third image. Can you make that a little clearer? Because it's not very clear. You can see it's a very fuzzy image, and it almost looked like there's maybe two spine ticks. There's one a little higher up and another one at the low end. So there could be two spine ticks, which would probably make that like a 9.4. So for $105, if ends up being a 9.4, that's not a great deal. But if you're interested in that book, I would ask about that image. That third image is not real clear. So I would ask for a clear image of that. The one that's asking 150, now this is a really good photo of this book. And that one looks pretty damn clean. That one looks like a 9.8 to me. And this guy's providing a lot of pictures, which is good. Yeah, that one's pretty clean. Maybe a little flare at the top. And CGC gives you 9.8s for that all day long, though. They probably shouldn't, but they do. Yeah, this one looks pretty good. There's some good imaging on that. Could be a little right by the staple. That could be a very, very hairline tick there. It's yeah. That's why I didn't mess around trying to buy a raw copy because the raw copies are pretty expensive on this book normally. I mean, normally the raw copies are like 150 to 200. So to get this 9.8 for slightly above what you'd pay for a raw was just that was a no-brainer for me. So yeah, my copy is really, really in nice shape. I don't know. It's one of my favorite covers of all time. I would put this in my top 20 best covers of all time. I would put this absolutely up there at the top, near the top. And you can see there's listings asking 750, $800 for something I just bid under $200 for. So yeah, I think that's a good book. I mean, that's something to look at. So there's only 2 raw copies for sale on eBay. The rest are all graded. Um, but I always look for that book. I don't know. Zach B says looks like multiple ticks. I mean, that's what that third image. Yeah, I would definitely ask for a clear image of that. GT Key Comic says thanks for the heads up. Just grabbed 2 sets of the Gleason Venom on Mutant Beaver in Canada. There you go. Yeah, they did buy a bunch. That's the other thing too on Gleason's website. You know, a lot of these online stores they'll limit you to maybe 2 copies or 1 copy per customer. Gleason doesn't do that. So if you're an online shop like the Comic Mint, they probably went on there and bought 100 sets, right? I mean, they got plenty of capital. They could do that. So it sold out in about 3 minutes, and I would say most of the sales were on other online stores like the Comic Mint, um, uh, Mutant Beaver. I think that there was also Scott's Collectibles had some for sale as well. So there were probably 3 big shops that probably bought maybe 1,000. Who knows, 500 copies, something like that. I'm sure. So that's why it sold out so well, so fast. Because normally a 2,500 print run book doesn't sell out that quick. But it was because it was being bought in bulk by other stores. So they're marking it up, right? So they bought the trade dress set. The trade dress was $25. So if you're Mutant Beaver, hey, let's buy 500 copies of that at 25, and we'll resell them for 75. So they're making a pretty good, they're making a nice spread, a nice margin of profit on that deal. Um, yeah. So thank you, GTK Comic, for bringing that out. So yeah, Mutant Beaver, Scott's Collectibles, but Scott's Collectibles had a deal where you couldn't. They had a pretty good price on their book, but you couldn't be from the U.S. If you bought it from the U.S., they would cancel your order. So you had to be from the UK or Europe or something like that. You couldn't be from the United States. They would cancel your order. So I don't think Mutant Beaver has anything like that. They didn't have any restrictions. Zach B, good to see you, my friend. I'm having a good Saturday night. Thank you. Um, yeah, let's see. Let's go to another book. What was the another book I was looking at? Oh yeah, let's look at Last Ronin. Um, I don't know all the exclusives that are coming out for Last Ronin #2. Let's see. I know that book's going to be dropping, I think, next month. So you have the looks like the main cover is this one, which looks okay. Notice the cover price is $8.99. Oh, Jesus, $8.99. Wow. Uh, what else we got here? There's the Alan Qua exclusive variant. That one's pretty cool. He does a good job. I like Alan Qua's work. I've got a couple books by him, exclusives by him. That one's pretty good. We've got another. This is a Virgin. I don't know who's the artist on that one. And they don't really tell you in the description, do they? Limited to 550 copies. So whoever did this, I don't know who the art. A pretty cool looking book. I can't tell who the artist is though. Let me see if I can find the listing. Oh, I did. I did pre-order the B cover by on the right hand side there by who is that by Campbell? Is that by Campbell? Yeah, Sophie Campbell, the 1 in 10. I pre-ordered that for like $10. That was a pretty good deal. That's probably going to sell out when it comes out. Number 2, Johnny Desjardins. That's interesting. Man, that's a weird looking cover, isn't it? I don't think I've seen that one before. Uh, I don't know who's selling that. What store? That's pretty interesting, though. I like that. That's kind of an interesting take. There's the Stan Yak cover. That one's pretty. That's pretty nice. I like that one for $45. See, look at this. This ratio is going for. They're asking $40. They've sold 43 copies. I bought mine for $10 shipped. So it's crazy. Look at this one. This is AOD Collectibles. Who the hell did this one? Raymond Lee. I've never heard of Raymond Lee. Is that a new artist? It's kind of interesting. I like the cover. Huh. This is being sold in Canada. They've already sold 27, 10 available. Interesting. AOD Collectibles on Raymond Lee. Raymond Lee. Huh. Kind of like it. I kind of like that cover. Looks like with shipping, it'll be about $30. That one looks interesting. There's a black and white cover here. Who did that one? Who is that? Marez? Who did that cover? Marcos Medina. That's a Marcos Medina limited, pretty limited though. What does it say? It says they're limited to only, was it 200 copies? Yeah. Only 200 of those made. This guy's asking $140. Interesting. I think it's okay. I'm not really into that cover though. Somebody asking 175 for it. Okay. There is a trade dress color version of it for $40. So there must be some store selling that. Last Ronin number 2, Ben Bishop cover. That one's nice. That one's kind of cool. I like that one. Asking $80, limited to only 400 copies. That's pretty limited. Miko Suyan. I like Miko. That one looks pretty cool. I wouldn't want to mess with that guy. Yeah, that's a nice cover. I like that cover. What else we got here? Oh yeah, so this is one of the ones I bought. I bought the Kale No one. I love Kale No's artwork. I don't know. I think he's crazy good, man. The detail. That cover looks awesome. Plus, I did buy the I did buy the Kale No, the Virgin and trade dress sets. I need to get these in Mylar. I can't stand that they're not in Mylar. Yeah, I got the black and white with color splash, and then the full color. So I like Kale No. I mean, this one's really good. I like Kale No's artwork. Yeah. So I picked that up for pretty cheap. I think I bought one or two of them for, I don't think it was that much money. I think I paid like $40 a piece for them. I know I didn't pay 139. Yeah, it was only limited 250 copies. Yeah, it sold out. I think within a day or so it sold out. So I bought that a while ago, probably a month ago. Yeah, it had to be a while ago. I think I paid like $40 a piece for it. So the I think the only other one I bought was the Aaron Bartling one. That one sold out as well. Yeah, look at that one. It's going for crazy money. Holy shit. It's going for fourth. They're asking that much? That's crazy. $400 free shipping. Yeah, I mean, it's a nice cover. It's cool. I don't think it's near as good as the first issue that he did. That one's really awesome. But yeah, I think I bought two copies of that. Signature with remark for 1350. I can get Aaron to sign my copy for me. I'm buds with him. Him and I are Facebook friends. He'll probably sign a copy for me for free. I need to get together. When these guys, I don't know, once COVID's over and all that, and these guys start traveling and doing the circuit, I'm sure he'll come to Florida. I'll definitely meet up with him and get him to sign a bunch of shit for me. Uh, yeah, here we go. Here's a metal. Here's the metal. I tried to buy this. I couldn't. The website like gave me error messages. I tried to buy that. I think it was like only they were only asking like $75 for it off of that Line Breakers website. I couldn't get one. Look, they're only 101 printed, and that was number 8 of 101. They're numbered on the front cover. That's freaking awesome. God, $1,500. Wow, it's crazy. But you're good when you're being cover swiped, right? You're being cover swiped by other people. That's when you know you've made it as a comic book artist. I mean, his poster prints are $75. It's crazy. Yeah, so here's a raw copy, $1,150. Crazy. So that's the only one that I really wanted. That first issue I didn't get. Oh well. So there's some really nice looking Last Ronin books coming out for sure. I like it. All right. What else should we talk about? Uh, Zach B says, "Man on Mutant Beaver, the Virgin set is 250." Yes, yeah, I'm not surprised for the Venom 33. Yep, yeah, I paid $75 a set. I feel pretty happy about that. I haven't gone to CBR in a long time. Let's go. What's going on in the world of comic books, according to CBR? Let's see here. So Red X is still. They're talking about that. Teen Titans reveal who DC's first Red X was in Future State. Um, Much like his animated Teen Titans counterpart did, Future State Teen Titans reveals that Dick Grayson created the Red X persona for more covert operations, and now that fact may be coming back to bite them. In Future State Teen Titans #1, the Red X identity was reintroduced to fans as an old memory from Dick Grayson's past. Having been gifted the mask at a birthday party, Dick seemed to fondly remember his time as the Dark Vigilante. However, the fact that none of his closest friends seemed to be the one who sent it hinted at a greater meaning behind the discarded persona. Indeed, it seems strange considering how much grief that identity caused Robin on the television show that introduced it. Huh. So that Teen Titans, that Future State Teen Titans book, that could be a pretty key book this year. If you hadn't picked it up and you still see it for $15, $20, I would say pick up at least one copy. Obviously, try to get it for cover if you can, but that might be impossible at this point. But who knows? That could be something DC explores in more depth. Whoever this Red X is, are they going to make it Dick Grayson? Are they going to follow the lead from the Teen Titans cartoon series? I don't know. That might be something to pay attention to. Let's see here. What else can we talk about? Star Wars confirms Darth Vader was always obsolete thanks to Palpatine. In Darth Vader #9, it revealed that while Palpatine did go through a lot of resources to keep Vader alive, he did not equip his apprentice to the best of his ability, canonizing a long held theory about the practicality of Vader's suit. While being hunted by Ochi and a small army of droid hunters, Vader got scanned by his mechanical assailants, and it revealed that some startling information about how advanced the tech in Vader's suit truly is. Prior to that moment, the droids claimed that Palpatine had cared enough to spend plenty of resources to keep Vader alive following his severe mutilation on Mustafar. But upon closer examination, the droids discovered that the machinery keeping Vader alive was obsolete by 3 decades. With this revelation comes a number of insights into the relationship between Palpatine and Vader. It was no secret that Anakin remained whole following his duel with Obi-Wan. He could very well have grown to become stronger than Palpatine himself. This was something of a mixed bag for the Emperor, who craved being a servant who craved having a servant that powerful for so long, but knew that he would have no way of controlling such a being. It is partially why he was so livid when Vader lost his duel, for it meant that Palpatine's apprentice was now merely a shadow of his former self. Yeah, it's interesting. So the premise is that Palpatine could have made Vader much stronger by equipping him with better technology, but decided not to do it, keeping him maybe handicapped a little bit, right? Yeah, that's interesting. All right. Yeah, I mean, so my favorite Star Wars book is the Darth Vader book because I just think Darth Vader is such a good villain, a good character that the SJWs can't fuck that up. So that's probably why that book still does well. The Darth Vader series is because the character's so good and so well defined that the SJWs really can't do much to harm it. That's my theory on that. But yeah, what else can we look at here? Um, yeah, I haven't read much of Future State yet, so I'm not going to really go into that too much. Uh, DC slate expands with Green Lantern, Damian Wayne, and a new Batman villain in April 2021. All right, so are they trying to make the case that DC is shipping more books because they're not? I did the count. I don't know. I haven't seen April's pre-orders yet. Product shipping March 2021. Yeah, this is all the same stuff I've looked at before. So yeah, I don't know. Whoever's trying to make the case that DC's expanding, they're not. They're contracting. So when the article says DC slate expands, no, it's not expanding, it's contracting. Contraction. That's the opposite of expansion. It's not expanding. Um, So don't believe the hype. There are not going to be more titles in April with DC. There will be less than last year. So do not buy that at all. That's incorrect. Um, what else can we look at here? I still feel like for Marvel, I still feel like the Sentry is going to be more used in the future. Uh, Sentry number one. Yeah, that's the only cover I don't have. I don't have the Al Rosen cover, which kind of looks like Kirby art to me. So that's the only cover I don't have. I've got this one here, the Jay Lee cover. This is really hard to find in high grade though. A 9.8 in this book is if you have this in, like this one right here, this is not a 9.8. This is like a 9.2, 9.2 or 9.4. No big spine ticks, but you can tell the edges are there's some there's some wear on it. Mine has a little color rub, some of the black rubbed off on it a little bit. So mine's probably like a 9.2 to 9.4 range. Um, yeah, I would say finding. Yeah, this is 8.0. They're asking $100. It's just it's a tough book to find at high grade. A 9.8 in that is so hard. Really, that's just it's almost impossible. So if you find a Century number one, that black cover in high grade, I would buy it, especially if you find it for cheap. I mean, right here, look at this 9.8. They're asking 552 because that is a really hard book to get in high grade, super hard. But I think Century, yeah, it just he's the most powerful Marvel character by far. There's no one even close. He's like Superman, right? He is like the Superman of the Marvel universe. I just think this is a very undervalued character. I could see this book going up a lot more. $100. This book should be selling for way more than this one. Looks pretty nice. Yeah, that one looks really nice. It looks better than my copy. It says very fine range. Yeah, you just don't know. I mean, it's tough to and like when you look at an image like that, it looks pretty nice. I don't see any spine ticks. I don't know. Maybe that left corner edge might be a little worn. Looks pretty damn good to me. I don't know. But that's my opinion. I think the Sentry is definitely an undervalued character. I think you could see I think you could see this book doing much better. I just think it's very undervalued. Yeah, there's now I do have this one, the San Diego Comic Con variant. I do have that in really high grade. Mine would probably be a 9.8. So yeah, I probably should get it graded if I ever wanted to sell it. A raw copy is not anywhere near $600. So that's one of those instances where if you've got a book that's you think is in high grade, a raw copy versus a 9.8 is hundreds and hundreds of dollars difference. So yeah, it definitely is worth your while to get the book graded. If you're pretty sure it's going to grade high, and my copy would grade 9.8 for sure. There's like right here, here's an example, right? This is a pristine, ungraded condition. Looks just like mine. It looks really high grade, and the guy's asking 350. Well, if he gets a grade of 9.8, it's you could probably get $500 to $600 for it pretty easily, right? At some point. So yeah, here's a 9.8. Look at that, $1,500. Because there's probably not that many. 1,500. Wow. Yeah, that's a really tough book to notice. The 9.8 on this black cover is way more than the San Diego Comic Con. It's just so it's that much harder to get in high grade. It's near impossible. That might be one of the I don't know. It's a tough book to get in high grade. I mean, this guy is asking $200 for a 9.2, and you can buy a 9.6 for 216. That's a good deal for that 9.6. 216. And don't be surprised, guys. I'm telling you, you could crack this open. I wouldn't be surprised if you cracked this open, this 9.6, and sent it into CGC a couple times. Who the hell knows? They could easily grade that a 9.8. Imagine that. So you buy this book for $200, you crack it open, you send it into CGC. Up, it comes back a 9.6 again. Crack it open again, send it in. Let's say you did it 3 times. It's going to cost you what, $100? Maybe a little over $100 to get it graded 3 times. But I'm telling you, if you sent that book in 3 times to CGC, there is a good chance it could come back a 9.8. And if it comes back a 9.8, think about it. That book jumps from a $200 book to a $1,500 book. It's absolutely nuts. So I don't know. I like the Sentry. I think it's a good character. Remember that what's his name? Paul Jenkins created the character, and of course, what's his name? Bendis brought him back into the New Avengers and kind of put him back on the map, which was kind of cool. I do have this copy too. New Avengers #7, the Neil Adams cover. That's a pretty cool cover. Yeah. All right. Yeah, here's one for 1,000. Again, at 9.8, it's super hard to find a 9.8. Really hard. All right. I don't know. It's 9:30. I've been on here for well over an hour. That's kind of what I had to talk about tonight. I talked about a couple exclusives, couple things to keep your eye out for. Um, GTK Comics says sending back to CGC from Canada runs about $80 a trip. Yeah, that makes it tough. I live about an hour, not even an hour from CGC's headquarters in Sarasota, so I could probably drop off my books and pick them up if I wanted to, save the shipping costs. But yeah, I think normally in the States here, yeah, it depends. I guess if you send it in bulk, it could be a little cheaper, but it's around $30 to $35 to get a book graded. And then if you want it pressed, you could pay money extra for that. Yeah, $30 to $35 seems to be the cost for getting something graded here in the US. Maybe a little cheaper for me because I live so close to CGC. But I'm not a big grader. I don't grade a lot of books, mainly because I don't sell a lot of books. So I would say if, I've got some books right now that I have in raw condition if that are definitely candidate to get graded if I ever want to sell them. I've got that Mickey Mouse Delato #1. That's a huge book in high grade. I've got that Venom Crane Gauntlet cover. I've got a couple copies of that. That's a huge book in high grade. Yeah, I've got several books that I definitely would get graded if I were to sell them because the price would jump up dramatically. But it's not the most easy thing to do. It takes a long time. It's costly. It's one of those deals. It's not turnkey. It takes a little time and effort to get things graded. And I'm always impressed by people that are always sending things in to get graded. I'm like, damn, I don't know. It just seems like too much of a pain in the butt for me. GTK Comics says, thanks for the heads up on the Gleason Venom. That book is an acquisition. Yeah, it's a nice book to have in the collection. Gleason's art is definitely really good lately. I don't remember him being that great in the past, but ever since ASM 55 cover came out, he's been fire hot. So the Carnage is going to do well. I mean, I could see a lot of his books, you know, doing pretty well in the short term. We'll see long term or not. I'm not too sure. Scorpion Comics, by the way, has an exclusive coming out this coming week. I believe it's typically he comes out with books on Wednesdays, every Wednesday at 6 p.m. He's got another Spider-Man facsimile, #1. And it's, of course, people that love Clayton Crane. It's another Crane cover. Um, it's going to be basically the same cover as before, but it'll be a different take on it. I can't tell you too much about it. I've seen the cover. It's really, really good. He's only asking $50. You don't get a set. It's only one book. It's a virgin cover, no trade dress, virgin cover for $50, and there's only 800 copies. I'm pretty sure it's going to sell out pretty quickly. So um, I'll talk about it more this next week. Probably on Wednesday. I'll mention it. Maybe Tuesday evening if he allows me to talk about it. I'll message him and see if he's okay with me revealing the cover and all that on Tuesday. Maybe just for you guys, I'll be able to reveal it the day before, so you'll know what you're looking at if you're interested. So yeah, I'll keep you apprised on that. GTK Comics says, yeah, Gleason is the next Momoko. Yeah, he could be, man. He could definitely be the hot artist of 2021. He's off to a good start with those Spider-Man covers. So yeah, unfortunately, I did not pick up ASM 55, the regular first print. I did pick up a second print, but I did not, unfortunately, get the first print. I might pick that up if the price comes down a little. I know right now it's a hot book. Maybe in a couple months, if you see it dip a little in price, I might grab a copy just to have in the collection. Yeah, we'll see. All right, guys, that's all I had for you tonight. Thanks for hanging out with me. I don't do a lot of later night live streams, but I had some time, and I kind of like doing it, hanging out with everybody, spending some time reviewing things, going over books that I'm interested in. It's just kind of like hanging out with a few buddies that like to talk about comic books. That's kind of what's great about doing live streams and having this channel. So appreciate everybody that contributed into the chat. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe to my channel. Share it if you can. That helps me grow my channel. I'm at like 756 subscribers. I seem to be in that 750 to 760 range for quite a bit here. I'd like to eventually be kind of nice to get near 1,000 at some point, but I don't know. It's just I seem to be in a rut lately. I probably need to do more videos, that kind of thing. That would probably help. So I'm also on Instagram. If you want to check out my Instagram posts, I've got about 1,100 followers on Instagram. So I do have a lot more people following me there than watch my YouTube channel. And I do quite a few postings. So I did post about that Gleason cover, for instance, on Friday. So yeah, make sure you're following me on Instagram. You're going to probably get things a little bit more up to date from me on that. Things that I'm looking at, things that I'm buying. I'm going to usually post it right away on Instagram. So that's it, guys. Thanks for hanging out with me. Appreciate everybody in the chat and everyone who subscribes to my channel and my Instagram. I'll see you guys probably Tuesday. I'll do another video on Tuesday. Usually Tuesdays and Thursdays have been the 2 days that I try to be consistent with. So look for my next video on Tuesday, and I hope everyone has a great rest of the weekend. I'll see you guys soon. Thanks, everybody.